Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tiksu to UniTartu. Today, we're going to be talking about festivals and holidays in Estonia and which ones not to miss. Today, we're joined by two wonderful guests, Katrin and Laura, and they are our subject matter experts. Katrin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, my name is Katrin and I teach Estonian language and a little bit of Estonian culture as well at the Institute of Foreign Languages and Cultures at the University of Tartu.
And Laura?
Hi, my name is Laura. I am a volunteer in a student organization named Tartu Student Days, which means Tartu Student Days. I'm a sponsor manager there and also a full-time uni student.
Great. So just to start off with, I wanted to ask you guys, what are the key ticket festivals or holidays that, and a visiting student shouldn't miss? What do you think is the number one festival or holiday?
Definitely the Students' Song Festival, where they come together and sing Estonian songs.
And when does that happen?
So it was just last Friday, but it happens every spring.
Every spring, like in April?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's one of my favorites as well. Yeah. And yourself, Katrin, what do you think is your favorite festival or holiday?
Yeah, my favorite is actually Jaanipäev, which doesn't happen unfortunately during the studying period, and it takes place between 23rd and 24th of June. Mm-hmm. And if students who study here at the spring semester are still here during that time, I definitely recommend to have an Estonian family or friends and take part in the Jaanipäev festivities. But of course, there are many other events as well during the spring and autumn semester.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Fun fact, my birthday is after Jaanipäev, so it's good to spend it all the time. And
Do you ever get them lumped together? It's Jaanipäev and then Laura's birthday?
Yes, it's like midsummer's holiday and then my birthday.
No, that's good.
But also, sorry.
You're good.
But also the Wahlberg's night is really big for students as well in university. So it's on the 30th of April every year. And a Student Days organization, we always host a big concert on Kaarsild, which is a really big monument in Tartu. So this year we also have very, very cool performance coming.
Oh, is it New Blue? No,
it's Viis Miinust.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Viis
And
Miinust.
Meriline Uusküla, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely very, very much of a student event, because students actually take over the town for the whole evening and night. And I'm not sure how officially or not so officially it happens, but actually there is a little ritual when our mayor gives power to students during that.
Yeah, I've heard that there's a
evening
little
and
bit.
night.
I've heard there's a little bit of mischief that goes on during the Walpurgis night.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, I think it even originates from the tradition that people dressed up as witches.
Oh.
So
is it similar to Halloween, or is it more?
No, not really. I think it just originates from that, but otherwise it's just a big night for students to go out and just socialize, and people will be out on town for like many hours, maybe even until like 6 or 7 a.m.
Yeah. And it's rather connected to the German Walpurgisnacht, which also happens the same evening or night, and obviously even linguistically they are a bit connected. Walpurg, Volber, so one comes from another.
Yeah. And I wanted to maybe ask, could you maybe tell me a little bit more about like the origins of that student song festival you were mentioning? Because I know that song festivals are very instilled in Estonian culture, but maybe you could expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, well, they always happen usually during the summer, like the song festival, the national one.
Because
like
nobody wants to go out during the winter.
Yeah, and then so we just have it for students just to reunite and connect us university students, and to offer that night to come together and just have fun. And then after that, we also have a students dance festival event where you can just come and dance our national dances like Kairajan, and we just had that, I think, the day after yesterday. So it was very, very wholesome here at the Aparaaditehas.
No, great. And do people like wear certain garb or dresses for these events they go to?
Yeah, they have these really, really nice skirts, and the patterns are always different, and they have really deep meaning. I'm not as I don't know that much about them, but I just know that they're gorgeous, and they have a really deep meaning behind all of them.
I always get a little bit jealous when I see them as well. But maybe, Katrin, do you know a little bit more about the traditional dress?
Yeah, well, each region and each county has a different pattern and connected to this area. And yes, very, very beautiful and nice patterns, and mostly striped skirts for women and girls. So yes, very colorful and very, very different.
Is it easy
depending on where you are from and what region traditional clothing you are wearing?
Would you say it's easy to get one, or are they all handmade or?
Yes, actually, originally they are handmade, but of course nowadays you can even visit probably some souvenir shops and get some traditional looking socks or shirts. But yes, indeed, many people even nowadays make them themselves. So yeah.
Okay, great.
And also, I think it's a nice fun fact that, of course, obviously, mostly people don't wear these clothing every day anymore. But there is one little island, Kihnu, where often the women and girls, even in everyday life, still wear these traditional skirts and national clothing. So
have you been?
Yes. So it's really, really, beautiful tradition to keep alive.
Yeah. Okay, great. And when people are starting to think about festivals and holidays, where would be the best place to maybe find out about these? Maybe between the student days or just the regular holidays. Where can I find an event?
Well, we do have our own website, studentdays.ee. But we also put all of our events on Facebook. So Facebook, I feel like, is a really, really big place for university students to find events they want to go to. But also we have collaborations with the Tartu city. So our events are also there on their Kultuuriaken, like a culture window website. So they're also foundable from there. And they also have a bunch of different, not even only Tartu events. They also have like Valga and Viljandi, I think. So, but yes, pretty much Facebook is the main place where you can find these events.
Yeah, we've said that before with some other guests, that Facebook is definitely a great way to find these events, and sometimes they sneak up on me. I don't even know when one's coming up, and I'm like, oh, I guess tomorrow is going to be the song for the Student Song Festival or whatnot.
Yeah, just recently I had a comment from one of my students that she really wasn't using Facebook at all very actively, but when she came here to Tartu and then she said that, well, everything takes place in Facebook and I must be really in it again to know what's happening when something is happening. So very many events actually are advertised via Facebook. Yes. So.
And would you say that these events, maybe not so much the student days, but a little bit more of the traditional events, do you think they're welcoming for foreigners? Do you think anybody can just show up and, participate?
I think more and more actually the events are obviously first in Estonian for Estonians, but very, very often people are also, the organizers are adding the translation. So I think very often the foreign students and anyone who is not originally from Estonia, they are very welcome. So all these dance clubs, folk dances, songs, yes, they they are open
Yeah.
to anyone, and also language-wise, you can get the information in English often as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like not natural for Estonians to first off like invite foreigners because they're more scared. They're a little bit more scared to open up and welcome. I mean, we're always welcoming foreigners into our culture and to take part of it. But it's just it takes a little bit of time because Estonians are really they need to warm up and then they can.
Definitely. I think I've had the experience where I've been invited to a Jaanipäev and, even if I don't speak Estonian and they don't speak English, they're very willing to, have a beer with me or invite me into the sauna. So
Yes, yeah. We're always very welcoming of everybody. So we don't exclude, you're not Estonian, you can't come. No, it's always everybody can come and visit.
I actually had gone to the Tartu Jaanipäev not that long ago, and I was kind of shocked to see that it was almost more foreigners than it was Estonians, because a lot of Estonians, I feel like for Jaanipäev, they like to go out to the countryside. They'll drink with their families, and this public event was almost half foreigner, half Estonian, and it was really nice. And they even put the words up for all the songs. So if you can read a little bit of Estonian, you're on board with it.
Yeah, I feel like Tartu is also the best place for foreigners to really be integrated into the Estonian culture. Like in Tallinn, everything's so just it's very touristy.
Yeah.
So everybody is welcome also there, but in Tartu there's almost like specifically
I would say like in Tallinn it's very touristy, like you said, and you're not sure how long somebody was there for. So you're not sure you want to really make a connection with somebody that's going to leave next week. But in Tartu, there's like people that are studying a whole semester here. They're going to be here a long time at very least.
Yeah, it's very much focused for foreigners as well.
Yeah, I think the smallness plays a big part. So that, such a big percentage of people who live in Tartu are students, including the foreign students.
Yeah. And a lot of the events, I feel like, also is like, they're quite quaint. They're not too crowded. You go to a big song festival in Tallinn, and you can the performers look like ants from far away. But in Tartu, you can kind of, feel like a little bit more integrated into the group. But I wanted to ask you guys, do you need tickets for a lot of these events, like the student song festival, for maybe Tartu Jaanipäev, for a lot of the traditional events? Do you need to have a ticket?
I think it depends on events. Many events are for free, but yes, there are, I think, small ticket fees prices for both this town Jaanipäev and also the students' song festival. So.
Yeah, us student days. Yeah, since we are a student organization ourselves and we're all students, so we know how it can be with money-wise. We try to keep our ticket prices, if there are any, we try to keep them as low as possible, so everybody can still come and visit and see the concerts. The Wahlberg's night concert, which I mentioned, is free actually. So it's meant for not only students but all of Tartu city people. And the song festival, we do have a small ticket fee. I think it was €7. So we try to keep it low, but then really again, good. The cost of everything is going up. So we also try to keep everything budgeted. But most of our events in our festival program are free because we also tell a lot of our organizers, who are our co-organizers, who also help us host these events, that please keep your ticket prices low or free, so all the students know that they have a place that they can go and they don't need money for that.
That's great. Yeah, €7 is actually really good for how it is right now. Yeah. I wanted to maybe circle back to holidays. So more, global holidays, what I think of as Christmas or, maybe Easter. How are they celebrated in Estonia?
Yeah, I think it depends again on where you live, maybe, who you communicate with, and Easter is maybe not so important as it is somewhere else where it's a Christian or Catholic or Orthodox country. But of course it's celebrated, and especially children are coloring the eggs, and also we call it munade koksimine, where people are fighting for breaking each other's eggs, and also they are rolling the eggs, who gets the longest ride for their eggs.
Does the Easter Bunny still exist here?
And the Easter bunnies, I think they are more traditional, maybe with nowadays children, but for people who celebrated Easter like 20, 30, 40 years ago, I think the Easter bunnies were not so present.
Yeah.
So
I think you actually touched on an interesting point about kind of religion being present in holidays. I was wondering if you could maybe expand on that. Like, what is the basis of a lot of Estonian holidays?
yeah, it's mostly has been connected to farm life rather than the church holidays. But yes, nowadays people live in towns, and we don't have to think about our cattle and crops and such things anymore. But yes, originally everything has been circling around the farm life and the cycle of life that was connected to farm chores and all such things.
So another thing I wanted to touch on was maybe some unknown holidays that are unique to Estonia. Do you think you could maybe tell me about some of those?
Yeah, I would like to mention Vastlapäev, Shrove Tuesday, which is the early spring, late winter holiday, and also mardipäev and kadripäev from the autumn season, which is kind of like Estonian kids' Halloween. And we get to celebrate it twice. Mardipäev on the 10th of November and kadripäev on the 25th. And they are also name days for Martin, and Katrin, Katariina. So yes, these are nice days to celebrate. And
yeah, the kids will like dress up according to. So if it's mardipäev, then they will put on boy clothes. They'll draw like a mustache. They'll thicken their eyebrows, and then they'll go out, and they also have to learn different songs or some poems to perform, and then they get candy for that. And then on kadripäev, they will do it as dress up as women and put on nice dresses, and these they usually try to be traditional dresses, like these white and kind of linen ones. So yeah, that's really nice. I remember when I did it with my friends. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, I actually had that one sneak up on me. I had some kids show up at my door asking for candy, and I was like, yeah, sure, I got candy. And I wasn't sure what kind of day it was.
Yeah, I love it because it's so unique to Estonia, because we don't really celebrate Halloween that much nowadays. Nowadays it's more. Yeah, it's bigger, and kids will really put effort in it. But those are the traditional ones that we always had before Halloween from other countries came to Estonia.
Do you guys maybe know like what the origin of that is? Like why people do that, or why they have the kids dress up like that?
Yeah, well, originally, again, it has been as a celebration and protection of your farm activities, both crops and cattle, and wishing luck for people and success with their animals and harvest. But obviously nowadays, yes, people just perform some songs and riddles and expect candy or even sometimes money for the little dances and songs.
They're not too worried about their cattle these days.
Yes.
But another interesting thing you mentioned was name days, which is kind of a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, name days are not so popular in Estonia. I think very few people actually know when their name days are. And of course, when you are or Kadri, then you definitely know when your name day is. But many
Or Jan.
people, or Jan, exactly. But yes, indeed, many people don't know and don't celebrate the name days.
Yeah, I never
either.
know when mine is until my grandpa always texts me and he's like, "Happy name day." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
When is your name day, by the way?
I can't remember.
We need to call up her
Yeah,
grandpa.
let's wait for the grandpa.
He'll know for sure. He always has it marked down on his calendar.
And another thing I also wanted to show, this is a nice little activity from Vastlapäev that my father has made. So, of course, the pea soup is very popular. And if you finish your pea soup, then you can make little toys.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a simple game, but quite entertaining for both children and grown-ups. So you can try later if you can do it like that. Be careful though with your face and hair and everything. But
Yeah.
I think once we cut, I'll have to give it a try.
my students are always very eager to try, and sometimes it takes a little time to learn it, but definitely possible to.
On Shrove Tuesday, they always also go sledding. So
Yes.
whoever has the longest sled, I think it was Good Harvest.
Yes, and especially flax is very important. So the longer ride, the longer and better flax. And also you should comb your hair, and the more and better you comb, the longer and thicker and nicer your hair is. So this is another fun tradition.
I love those little traditions and kind of, I guess, superstitions almost.
Yeah.
Do you guys maybe have any more of those you can share? I know one myself. My wife always tells me not to put the bread back upside down or it's bad luck.
Yes.
But maybe are there
there's-
any other
There's
Estonian?
so many. If you drop a spoon, a fork, a knife, that means that somebody's from what gender is coming into the house. And there's the 3 times knocking and the 3 times spitting over your left shoulder to avoid bad luck.
I think Estonians are quite superstitious.
Very much.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, we do lots of.
The umbrella, you
Funny
cannot
little
open
things.
it. Yeah, on
Okay, we
inside.
have that one. I've heard that
Yeah.
one, but
You shouldn't wear the hats inside. Also, you can't whistle.
Yes, or the house will
Or the
catch
house
on
will-
fire.
Burn down.
I didn't know there were so many.
Yeah, there's a lot. When you start to think about it, they unravel.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we're kind of running down on time here, guys, I wanted to ask you one more thing before we close off, and that would be for somebody coming to Estonia. What was one, like maybe a piece of Estonian media, maybe a food that they might try? What's one Estonian thing that you can recommend to somebody?
That's a good question. Yeah. Let's start maybe with food.
Food?
Or drinks. So definitely kohuke is very popular in Estonia.
Yes, it's like a curd snack.
curd snack, but be sure to try some very old favorites of Estonia, kama, which consists of special kama powder and kefir and sugar. And of course, if you are a meat lover, then definitely verivurst,
My
the
fa-
blood
yeah, blood
sausage
sausage.
during winter time and Christmas time.
It's my favorite. And well, sylt
Sylt,
is a classic one.
One for me, I might recommend a movie. I was actually a Katrin student a few years back, and one movie I really enjoyed was The Fencer or Vastlapäev.
Yes.
And it has a kind of historical fiction kind of tones, and it's really, really nice and really good movie.
Yeah. Any other recommendations?
I think if we have nothing else, then we can close it off here. Thank you guys so much for giving me the time today, and thank you for being here and sharing your expertise and knowledge. And this has been Tiksu to UniTartu. Thank you.